everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm so excited. We're going to talk holiday stress, basically everything surrounding the holidays, and I have two wonderful doctors with me. Dr. Anthony Hudson, a pediatrician from Children's Hospital, and Dr. Raghav Nehru, and you are an adult primary care provider with Touro. So I just want to jump right in. We're in the midst of the holidays. Christmas is less than a week away. First thing I want to know is when you want to work out, when you want to get some physical activity in, how do you make time for that? How do you do that in the holiday season?
I like to do it early in the morning because I know I'm not going to get to it after work. So I like to wake up about 10-15 minutes early just to try to get a morning workout in, because after I come home, I want to just relax.
You're a pediatrician, so let's talk children. Maybe they want to play video games or watch all these wonderful Christmas movies, but how do you keep the kids active in the holiday season?
Sure, to keep kids active, I think really we should focus on keeping the parents active. The parents and the guardians and grandparents, everyone caring for the kids over the holidays should really model the appropriate behavior. So if they themselves can get out the front door, I think the kids will follow them.
I know we touched on exercise, but let's just ask the age-old question, why is exercise so important?
I think exercise is important for your physical and your mental health. I think that your mental and physical health are connected. So even if it's 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes a day, that's more than enough to kind of help everything out.
All right, and just for you two, how do you get physically fit? What's your go-to?
So my go-to is always 15 minutes before I want to get up. I get up a little bit earlier and I just do some kind of cardio activity in the morning, and that's kind of my 15-20 minutes a day, and that's all I do.
Perfect. And what about you, Dr. Hudson?
For me, depending on the amount of free time, it may be a run around a park, Lafreniere, Audubon Park, or if I have time to get to the gym, I can do that in the afternoon, depending on who's picking up the children. It's always a juggling act, but try to make time no matter what.
Right, and I think just incorporating the fun of Christmas. There's beautiful lights twinkling and Christmas trees lit up in parks and around the city, so maybe a family activity all together.
Yes, definitely. Holiday season is about family, so if you do activities together, that's always helpful. It's always a memory created, and if you can incorporate health into that, that's always good.
All right, we talked about exercise. Now we have to talk about eating. There are a lot of Christmas treats, pecan pie, and what do you like to eat during the Christmas holidays?
Oh, my favorite is soup. Now that it's cold, I think something like gumbo or potato soup is perfect this time of year.
Yeah.
I'm more cookies and hot chocolate. I like the sweets. It's tough to avoid during the holiday season, obviously.
Definitely. But I want to talk about that. So there's all these wonderful treats that you can eat during the holiday season. We just named a few: pecan pie, pumpkin pie, chocolate milk and cookies. You have patients come in and maybe this is something that they struggle with, especially around the holidays. Talk to me a little bit that from a health point of view.
From a health perspective, look, you're not going to be able to avoid seeing these treats and sweets, so I always say portion control is your best friend. Maybe instead of 3 cookies, maybe a cookie is just enough, and I think that's the best way to do it because you're not going to get away from seeing the treats everywhere.
And I just want to talk about some of those problems, those health-related problems with maybe overeating or indulging a little bit too much while I have y'all here, because I know this sounds like no-brainers, but let's talk about maybe something that we would see if you do overindulge and why it is so important to cut back.
I think overindulgence is improper for your digestive health in terms of, obviously there is a weight gain, which weight gain is associated with a multitude of diseases, including diabetes and hypertension. We want to avoid increasing the risk of you developing that. So to avoid that, we kind of limit our intake.
And what does that look like then?
So I always say portion control, and that's determined by your plate. So fill up your plate as much as you want, take that first plate, finish it all, and I would just wait 15 to 20 minutes before you grab a second and third plate.
Kind of build on what Dr. Nehru was saying in terms of plates. I think limiting maybe the actual size of the plate to something no greater than 9 inches. Today most families have 10 to 12 inch plates at home, and limiting the size can certainly help with portion control. But again, as a pediatrician, I think the most important thing for me to stress is really just modeling the correct behavior for children. So showing certain days where we do indulge, pecan pie, certainly Christmas is the day we all think of. I do think it's appropriate in those days to really have a good time and let go. But then other days really just build the routine of eating things such as fruit. That's something most children will still gravitate towards. And I think in terms of its glycemic index, it is a much healthier food than these multi-ingredient snacks and bars and cookies and so forth.
Right. I used to hear a saying, and I may be wrong about this, but if you're hungry and if you want to grab an apple and eat it, then you're hungry enough to eat an apple, right? But if you're hungry and you want more of a sweet and you don't want the apple, then maybe you should just say no to having a little snack at that point.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of times for hunger, it is actually thirst. Most people, we don't drink enough water. So if you're actually hungry, I urge people to drink more water throughout their day, and you will feel less hungry as well.
And we're talking about these tips that I feel like families have heard a million times, but it's really about application. Am I right? How do we make sure that we apply these rules, especially during the holidays?
I think Dr. Hudson was mentioning this earlier. Routine is so important here. I think if we set up a precedence, I think most people will follow as long as you're able to create these healthy habits.
Absolutely. Okay. $1 million question. Are you done with your holiday shopping?
Definitely not.
So now we're going to talk a little bit about stress. How do you take stress out of the holidays? Give us some answers. What do you think?
I think obviously you have to rely on the people around you, your family. I think a lot of times people get so stressed because family is coming over. I think we have to remember this Christmas is a time to spend time with your family, not to be so stressed.
Absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about stress and what that does to your overall health.
So stress can certainly raise certain hormones in your body that are ultimately not healthy. I think one of the most important things to reduce stress, certainly from a pediatric or from a child perspective, is to maintain a sleep schedule throughout the holidays. It's easy for us to fall off the routines of going to school every day. And I think certainly having a child who is overall lacking sleep can lead to stress, and that I think then propagates through the entire family, making the parents themselves more stressed as well.
So accurate amount of sleep.
Sleep, first and foremost.
What else? Another tip for stress?
Well, that would apply for adults as well, actually. Sleep is still applicable to us. Another tip I say, back to what we were talking about earlier, is some kind of physical activity or a workout every day or every other day even. And that's more than enough to even help you fall asleep and stay on a more routine.
Love that. I know Christmas Eve is hard because we're all anticipating Santa Claus, but try to get in bed at a good time during the holiday season. Staying up really late on New Year's Eve, maybe waking up New Year's Day and doing a little workout, starting your year off right. What do you think about that?
I think you can skip Christmas. I'm going to go ahead and give you that as a gift.
All right, perfect. So what else during the holidays? What is something that you hear from patients, both big and small, maybe a common denominator of some symptoms and some sicknesses? Okay, we're around a lot of friends and family. We're sharing food. The flu is being spread in Louisiana at a high rate. What are your suggestions for taking care of yourselves and helping to stay healthy in that aspect?
I think hand hygiene is extremely important in terms of washing hands properly, coughing into or sneezing into your elbow instead of your hand, and just generally not sharing water bottles with other members of your family if they are sick or ill.
Absolutely. Don't eat after each other. Maybe on the red Solo cups, write your name with that Sharpie, right? With toddlers, with young children, it's a little bit harder. They're sneezing in their parents' faces. So, I mean, what would you say in that regard?
Sure. I still think the most important thing is to wash hands, but maybe a different twist for that is to have them wash their hands for the appropriate amount of time, is to maybe have them sing a song. I think perhaps singing Happy Birthday song that everyone knows once or twice while they're washing their hands will ensure that they're washing their hands for at least 30 seconds to help prevent spreads of germs.
I love that idea. Grown-ups could do the same thing. Sing a little tune in your head while you're washing your hands, right?
Right, absolutely. You need at least, 30 seconds is more than enough. So, yeah, absolutely. Need at least 20.
Yeah. So slow down this holiday season. Make sure you get plenty of sleep and wash your hands for a good amount of time. That's great. Great tips. Dr. Nehru, any final thoughts today?
So yeah, I think I mentioned a couple of things. I want to mention the routine things. Please try to maintain a routine, and if you cannot during the holiday season, it's okay. We can always help you try to create a new routine. So please come see us, and happy holidays.
Yes, Dr. Hudson. What about you?
Sure. I hope everyone enjoys their holidays. For parents, please try to model the appropriate behavior you would like your kids to exhibit, and certainly just remember every day is a new day, a new opportunity. We can build on yesterday's successes or simply let its failures go and start anew.
Beautifully said. Thank y'all so much for these wonderful tips. We tackled stress in the holidays, we've tackled portion control, and then also, how to wash your hands for a good amount of time to eliminate all those germs that could cause cold and flu. And if you want more tips, you can visit our website. That's lcmchealth.org/blog. From our LCMC Health family, we would like to say happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas.